Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Heart, Cat, and Soul, this time in video. We're going to start 2025 with a difference. This is a video podcast now. You can whether listen or have the video, whatever you like the most. And we're going to have a different perspective. We're going to have different sections, and we'll see how it develops during the year. But first of all, thank you for waiting. I know in English, I've only done like 7 or 8 episodes and then I took a break. But I'm recharged and starting over again. So welcome back. And today I wanted to tackle a topic that has, in a way, has surprised me. Well, it's not the word surprise. I would not say that. But it amazed me a little bit that there is a book that I came across with. It's called Doing Harm. And the writer in this book, she explains how women were a little bit underestimated and overlooked for science, and why the same treatments that are applied to men actually are doing harm to us, and so why certain procedures that the studies were done in men but never applied to women. So all these things, in the end, we end up having more women with autoimmune disease, more women with overlooked about our pains and other illnesses. And I felt there was a correlation between women and cats, because in the end, cats are also often overlooked. It's reason that we have a feline medicine and as an official and registered way to treat cats, up until I don't know how many years exactly, but the feline medicine was introduced much later than the dog medicine was, and cats were often treated as small dogs without looking at their characteristics. And even though nowadays I'm sure there are some challenges and difficulties to study cats, but the thing is that we are still relying on dogs medicine. And okay, let's see what we can change or adapt in cats. And this is because dogs canine medicine, let's say, or science, it's further away, and like 20 years later we have a feline research going around. Nowadays, this is getting better every day. So this is good because, well, I think there is a public's pressure in a way that, more people are having cats in their homes. And this is kind of, okay, it's necessary to start doing this. But already we are behind. The same thing happens with women. There is now more research about hormonal health, about that hysteria that they said we had actual cause, and that it's not normal to have period pain, and it's not normal to have several things that we normalize over the years. And the reason to now know this, it's because there was kind of a pressure that we were not feeling well, and the same thing with autoimmune disease. This is something that is spiking up, and it's more and more women are suffering from it. So we had to come to this point in order to have more research done for us. And I think it's important to know this and to understand that, because in a way, not all doctors are going to be aware that there's a book like this, because I wasn't. I actually, came across this book, and I was really surprised about things that in myself, I knew this was happening because I suffer an autoimmune disease, and I am always, struggling with doctors, and they are overlooking, and they say, no, well, don't worry, there's a pill forever that you can take, and that's it, and covering up my symptoms, and that's it. There's nobody actually paying attention. Since I'm a person that it's very curious, and I'm not standing, the fact that there isn't a cause, that okay, this is normal, so I should get it. uh this is when I started believing there was something else. So I started looking at it. But that voice inside of me that was talking, not all of us pay attention. And sometimes if you pay attention to it, you find yourself alone, and nobody cares, or nobody looks at it, and then you might feel like you're a crazy person, right? So the most recent example that I have is during the pandemic. The vaccine was actually tested more in men than into women, and actually, I had some friends that struggled with the period during, because they were vaccinated, and the reason behind it is that it was tested only with men. So like small examples like this is what we are, coming across nowadays. Then we can have our opinion about vaccines. That's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is that the research that we're doing is not looking for women all the time. And this episode is coming out on the Women's Day. So I thought it would be really good to start reflecting on this, start asking for the cause of the things that we suffer, and that we don't take a no for an answer. So this is kind of my suggestion for this episode today. And the same goes with your cat. I hear most of the times that, cats are prone to kidney disease. Cats are prone to this and that. Cats are normalize the behavior of cats. We think this is normal because we see it on social media. This is normal because of that and this. But let's try to find the cause, because nothing is normal. What I'm saying with this is, genetically, you're going to come with a series of genes, right? And but the way that they activate or deactivate, it's the way you live, the way your lifestyle, you take your lifestyle seriously or not. If there's a home enrichment, there is something that you take care of. So when they say that cats are prone to kidney disease, it's because statistically this is what we've been having. But statistic is only a number. We are not looking at the real causes, because we are normalizing that we live in a toxic culture. And this is something I came across when I read books like Gabor Mate's The Myth of Normal, or books like, the Body Keeps Count. Those are books that actually enlighten my way as a vet as well, to understand that the expression of certain genes is not just a lottery thing. Of course, there are some things that maybe you can control, but we need to think about how we are living our ways, and why. And when we say this is the best I can do for my cat, is it really? Do we really know? And I am not here to put you in a panic situation and say, well, I don't know if I'm doing it right or not. The thing is that I want you, the purpose of this episode is for you to, in a way, criticize everything, just in order to have it in your mind and say, does it fit? Does it goes with what I believe? Does it, or should I look further? Because now we are living in a world with AI can do most, they can say anything, and we are very prone to believe whatever is there. So now more than ever, it's very important that we take that time to reflect upon things, to look at what we are doing and how we are doing. And if I get a recommendation from my vet, Is it my vet has asked more questions? Should I ask more questions to my vet? Of course you should. You should ask questions to your vet. You should ask questions to your doctor and say, what research is backing this up? And if that research may also, there's nothing we can actually trust 100%, because we can manipulate everything. We can make it the way we want it. We can fix the results and create a study through that. So what I'm saying here is that your gut will never lie to you. The only thing is that you have to learn how to listen to it. If you receive a diagnosis, if you for your cat or for yourself, and something shakes inside of you when they say the treatment is only this. Okay, look a little bit further, ask questions. Don't get fear get in the way, or anxiety or anything. Just think and ask, and nag. Usually I collaborate as a holistic vet. I usually collaborate with conventional vets, and they usually say, oh my God, your clients are so difficult because they ask so many questions. And I and I laugh at this because it is true. And I am actually, encouraging people to do so. But then in the end, they are actually enjoying it because they have to, keep updated. They have to question what they know, what they think, and they're not doing things only just through the protocol that they know. And I'm really happy to to get this kind of, for me, it's a compliment. So this is what I want you to do. The truth in biology, it's very difficult. There are some tips that I'm going to get through a little bit later, but when we talk about biology, we can try to measure it with a little bit of statistics. We can measure it with research, but the research is just one step further. That we always need more research to back up that information over and over again. And also, science evolves. It's not something that, I said this 20 years ago and nothing has changed. So once you understand that, instead of trying to control everything and have all under control, if you have this flexible and you question everything, and you start listening and be more present with yourself, you will feel if something is good or not for you. Most of the times we make decisions based on fear sometimes, that if I get a very bad prognosis of something, fear is going to come over. And yes, it happens even to us vets. I always say the story. I always tell the story about my cat, where she always had different issues, but they all came up together unexpectedly, and suddenly, she was not going to make it for a long time. So I got very anxious. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to, just because I felt if I don't know what to do, how am I supposed to be helping other people, right? So everything I started questioning, and again, the anxious and the anxiety and everything. It was a very bad moment up until maybe you believe in this or not, but I've done a communication with an expert, because I do communications, but I wanted to have an expert voice. And she said, my cat said, I don't care what you do. I just want you to be here with me. And that was really it broke me down in a way that I felt like, okay, this is inevitable. All I can do is improve your quality of life. And in doing that, I had to learn how to stop and just be with her. And those were, it lasted a week or a little bit more than a week. But those days were the best. And I've learned how to be even more, a better professional, because I understood what she wanted. And actually, when I started doing this, she took the medicine much better. She was doing much better. I actually hired someone to give the medicine, so I didn't have to be attached to the bad part or the good part. I was trying just to be present with her and enjoy the time we had together. But this is a very difficult decision to make. There were so many fears around it. And then you are left with a little bit of that traumatic thing of, my cat is everything, every single time a year goes on, and my cat, it's another birthday, and I'm always concerned, like, oh my God, you're getting old. Oh, and so it's understandable if you feel those things. But try to go back to your center, to your instinct, and enjoy what you have. Don't wait to have it later. And the same thing goes for you. If you're listening to this and you're a woman and you're suffering for something, don't wait until there's no turning back. Just try and work on you, because everything you do upon yourself, it's going to be reflected on your cats. So it's a win-win. So if you get to know yourself, if you empower your gut feeling, and then if you understand what boundaries are, all these diseases, all these illnesses that we suffer, you're going to be questioning, you're going to find different answers, you're going to, and life actually gets more exciting after that. And this is not something I'm inventing. This is what I do. And I had to go from different journeys, and I had to go, and I'm still working on it. It's a process, and I'm not, oh, I just healed and that's it. No, it's a process. But in this process, I've learned so many things that this is why I'm sharing with you today. Things that we need to look. So let's give a little bit of example of what I'm saying, so you can understand a little bit better, or have an actual example. When I say work on your routine, or how can I feel better, first of all, find the tools. That there are so many tools around. You can go to therapy, or you can do many other things. I personally like knowing and understanding myself through Enneagram, to know what type of personality I am, not to justify myself, but to understand where I stand and then move forward from it. So this happens, the same thing happens with certain diagnoses. If you have any other diagnose, that's where you stand. But this is not, try not to stuck there as a justification of this is what I am, because we often do this, and we need to understand that we are in a process. It might take us a whole life, but it is a process, and we need to learn something from it. And those things, if you know, the more you know about yourself, the better, or you're going to find the best tools for you. It's not the same for everyone. Then we need to look after nutrition. Sometimes we look after the nutrition of our pets, but we don't look at on our own, or the moment that we sit down to eat, the hours we take to sleep. And I'm not going crazy, because there are so many things you can do. If you look at a biohack coach, you will see that, well, so many things. I'm not doing all those things. But just go back to basics. You have to sleep better. You have to have your hormones in control. You need to have those things down, and worked on. And once you have that, you can apply to your cat. And of course, that if you work on yourself, you're going to see reflected that on your cat. Your cat is going to be already better. So anything that is happening, if you work on yourself, you're going to find them much better. But then if we look at the cats and what we can do for them, the same things apply, but we know less, because, you have to rely on science, on an expert or something else. And sometimes your gut feeling is not, you're going to be nervous and anxious and something because it's your responsibility and everything is difficult, right? So it's your cat. That is why I'm starting with you. Just work on yourself first, and already you'll be in the right path. But when you look at your cats, look at their environment. There are some things that we are doing currently that are not the best practices for cats, physiologically and emotionally talking, but we still need to do them because it's the least harm, maybe, like, for example, neutering, spaying. We need to do those things because we are not in the best of our because how can I say this? You will be our cats live indoors, or if they are outdoors, there are certain behaviors and certain things that they will, suffer if they are hormonally intact. I don't know if this comes across very clear. Otherwise, you can ask me. Other things is, okay, our environment today, it's full of technology and radiation, and then we have, all the circuits around. And if your cat is indoor, it doesn't have the outdoor access, then you may have, accumulation of this radiation that is not good for them. Or the same thing goes with if you're using toxic products, or the cushions, or the material, the fabrics that you have on your furniture also may not be the most appropriate for your cat. If we use a lot of plastic in our house, so in a way, when we have indoor pets, they are asking us to be as organic as we can be. And when I say organic, I'm not only talking about, the label of organic. I'm looking for more organically or products or materials that you make your furniture and everything else with. And even then, when you choose better, you will find people saying you have to do this and you have to do that and this and that. So again, first, change the basics. First, do whatever it's at your reach, like it's very simple, and that, and then you can start looking for, if you feel this vibe, and then, yeah, I like this, I can afford to do this or do that, then okay, I am doing better. I can improve a little bit better. And if you see this, I mean, for me, it made life more exciting because I am always trying to look to do better. And sometimes it's not possible, and that's okay too. And whenever it's possible, I just take a step forward. And this is how we live. But you're always with this excitement of doing things and making it better. And this is kind of what I wanted to share with you today. It's a little bit more personal, and for the Women's Day, I think we need to start, looking after ourselves, and help each other as much as we can. So thank you for joining me today. If you have more questions, if you want to have certain topics on this podcast this year, I'll be happy to speak with you, and to speak any certain topic. Just send a comment. Just tell me what you want to listen to, and I'll be happy to do that. Also, I'll be glad if you tell me if you like the video version more than the recorded one. Anything is welcome. I'm happy. I'm available for you guys. And thank you once again. See you next time.